When it comes to Rafa Benitez, were you there when you were at Liverpool? Was he there?
Yeah, he was the coach, yeah.
So, why do you say he's such a great manager? What is it about him that many players have said the same thing that you're saying here?
It's his attention to detail. Every session is always how to improve the team's shape, what to do without the ball, what to do with the ball. He's very, very into the small details, whether he's moving you a yard one way or the other. He's very, very detailed, and his analysis of the other teams is very detailed. He always, the shape is the most important for Benitez, and it always was.
What about his man management? It's been said he's a bit cold.
I found him cold, yeah. I found him very cold. Even as a young player, being on the fringes, he never really warmed to me, or I never really seen him warm to anyone. But that's just his style, and he's had success doing that. So, he's not going to change now. And like he took a bit of stick last week for his tactics against Chelsea, but you've seen today he's done exactly the same.
At the same time, you look at the managers who are the most successful right now, your Pep Guardiolas, or those that are playing the most attractive football and are getting the most plaudits. Klopp you would throw into there. I know he hasn't won a trophy at Liverpool, nor has Pochettino at Spurs. But it can't be denied, the brand of football that they're bringing out, the fact the players seem to love playing for them. Now, I go quite frequently to matches in the UK, and sometimes I'm in the tunnel, and there are no cameras there, and I see the managers. I've seen the dressing room where Klopp is with his Liverpool players, and the way that he's just hugging the players, the way he's not cold, the complete opposite of Rafa Benitez. Can you afford to be a cold manager in the modern era?
I think, as you said, the top managers, they've got like a good vibe with their players. The Kadamada they got going on. As you said, the football they're playing, the Spurs, the Man Cities, they're playing like sexy football. It's just great football. You want to see that. And I don't know. As you said, he's a bit cold. But as I said, he's got a track record, Benitez. As you said, he gets the results. I think they'll be fine, Newcastle, but I don't think they'll be playing quite attractive football this season.
Your assessment of man management, cold versus really hands-on?
Well, the managers that seem to be having, the relationships with the players are the ones that seem to be having success at the moment. If we look at Klopp, Pochettino, Guardiola seems to have good relationships. And that style of football is in fashion at the moment, and they're the teams that are having success. Where you look at the style Benitez uses, it's very pragmatic. It's possibly, football's changing, and he might have to adapt. We can look at Mourinho in the same way, but it's difficult because these managers have had success.
But that's the thing, had success.
Yeah,
you have to also look at the present day and look to the future. You can't live off your past.
No. Football's changing, and I think they have to change as well. I think Benitez will have to adapt. They will have to be more progressive. They will have to try and get on the front foot. I think we watched Wolves last week take a different approach, playing Man City. They got a point. They were on the front foot. They created chances, but they also conceded chances as well. And Man City could have won comfortably, but I think the fans demand more of a progressive style.
Have you seen Newcastle's next game at home?
Yeah.
It's Arsenal, by the way, for those who are wondering.
But for me, I think you've got to go... As a player, I would rather than sit in a shape like that. I find it more difficult doing that because I always felt you was, one run away, not tracking your man 1 yard. I always felt uncomfortable where I felt more comfortable playing on the front foot, getting after teams, trying to get in their face and playing on the front foot.
Out of interest, you were at Newcastle... I'll try to get this right. Chris Hughton was there, Alan Shearer was there, Alan Pardew,
yeah, that's right,
Keegan as well.
Yeah.
What about their styles of management? I mean, there's quite a few right there. There's 4 I just listed.
Yeah, they were very different, yeah. Keegan was very warm. He was arm round you. And, everyone enjoys that. Hughton was very good, very tactically very good. And you can see in his Brighton teams that, the shape they take up, they're very good tactically. And Pardew, I like Pardew. Pardew's very good. The best thing about Pardew was he was very honest. He was always very honest with me, whether I was in his thoughts, whether I wasn't, whether I was going to play or whether I wasn't. He was always very honest, and that's what I liked about him.
I mean, you played for arguably, many would say, the greatest manager, not just British manager, but manager full stop of all time, Sir Alex Ferguson. What about his style of management in terms of being warm, but also being the man in charge?
Yeah.
and being cold.
At the right time, Sir Alex Ferguson was a great manager. He was very warm to his players, but on the other side, he was ruthless. You always didn't want to let him down. He had a great bond with his players. We just wanted to run through a brick wall for him, and I got so much respect for Sir Alex Ferguson. He gave me my debut, and as we all know, he's arguably the best manager of all time. I don't think there's anyone now, maybe Pep, close to him.
What about in contrast to someone like a Roy Keane?
As a manager?
Yeah.
Roy was a great manager. I loved Roy. He was exactly how he was as a player. He just told you how it was. When he took me to Sunderland, that was the reason why I went to Sunderland at the time, because of Roy. I could have gone to Everton, David Moyes, but I opted to go to Sunderland. Obviously, my connection with Roy. And I loved playing under him.
Yeah.
He was really good. Obviously, he fell out with the chairman. That's why he left. But very honest guy. Told you how it was. And obviously, we all know he was a great player, and we have a lot of respect for him.
Out of interest, if you were both playing the Premier League right now and try to put your club allegiances to one side, which manager would you like to play for now? If you had to name one.
Pochettino for me.
Pochettino?
I think so, yeah, because I think he gets the maximum out of his players, and the players have all improved underneath him. He's not got any sort of budget this summer, and he's maximising every ounce out of his players.
Same for me. Pochettino has been a revelation since he's come to England. When I played against Southampton, when he first went there, I came off the pitch and I said that was one of probably the hardest games I've ever played in. Southampton was so... Every time I got the ball, they were on me in freeze. And I said after that game, that manager is a top manager, and he will go on to be one of the best.
Had you played against Southampton before he was there, under Nigel Adkins as well?
Yes, I did, and it was completely different. He transformed Southampton. Lallana, all these players. He took them to another level, Klein, and he's doing that at Tottenham as well. And to be honest, I don't think he'll be there for long, because one of the big guns will try and snap him up.
Okay.
Not that Tottenham ain't a big gun, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I can imagine. He has been linked in the past to Manchester United and Real Madrid as well. Okay, gentlemen.